The Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch begins tomorrow, August 30th, and that means a new fresh server will open up so that all of us can do the rat race that is leveling from 1 to 80. But here's the catch. Me and my brother Jacob only have 4 weeks to get 70 before the zeppelins and ships take off to northrend to take the fight to the Lich King. I will be attempting to post videos about our journey from the eerie woods of Tirisfal all the way to the frozen tundras of northrend. Will the warrior and warlock duo be able to do it in time? Will we get invincible? And if we do, how do other people even see it? All these questions will be answered in the coming episodes of The Race to Wrath.
Let's a fucking go!
Once a nomadic people, the Tauren rose.
Nah, fuck that, old man. We got leveling to do. So we have a plan. Gabagoo is a warlock, and I'm a warrior. So we face an immediate issue. There are no warlock trainers in the Tauren area, and there are no warrior trainers in the Blood Elf area. So we have to meet in an area with both. So we decided to go to the undead area. For Gabba the Blood Elf, it isn't that far of a hike. But for poor little Zigzag, he has quite the trek ahead of him. So we log in and immediately book it to death now. Sick. Classic general chat. It's good to be back. So we decided to time how long it would take us to get to death now. Gabba's journey was pretty simple. It goes Eversong Woods to Silvermoon to Undercity to Death Knell. A very quick journey. Mine, on the other hand, was quite the adventure. I had to make it from Red Cloud Mesa to Thunder Bluff, which isn't that dangerous. Just follow the road and don't get eaten by wolves.
Get back here so you can get away from me!
When I make it to Thunder Bluff, I get lost like a belligerent drunk trying to remember where the Zeppelin was. So after a few wasted minutes, I see a rogue platform off the side of Spirit's Rise. And that just seems like a Zeppelin bus stop to me, so I went there. When I arrived to the Zeppelin, Gabba arrives at Death Knell, a mere 11-minute journey. While waiting, the Zeppelin just kind of appears out of thin air. Lost trying to find the fucking Zeppelin. Oh my god, dude, it just TP'd.
It just spawned.
That's content.
I'm so glad you got that too.
That's fucking silly, dude. It's like they just put it in the game. They're like, oh fuck, this guy's waiting for it. While riding the Zeppelin, I made the dumb decision to want to change some of my settings in the game. And it crashed it. So I restarted, and when I logged in, I found myself dead in the middle of Durotar. I can't tell if I just did some crazy any % speedrun trick, or if the server's broken. So I spawn up and start heading to the Zeppelin to Brill. Unfortunately, the Zeppelin was already there. Oh fuck, the Zeppelin's here now. I'm gonna get Zeppelined the first time.
World's first Zeppelin.
While running up the ramp, I spot a troll who's also running up the ramp, and she's ahead of me. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna be server's first Zeppelin. I'm gonna be server second Zeppelin. This is the worst day of my life. After the saddest Zeppelin ride of my life, I book it to Death Knell. I just died like 4 times trying to get there, no big deal. When I finally reached Death Knell, it was close to a 33-minute journey. Not too bad, but 11 minutes on Gabba's end, much better. So the good zombie people here are having sort of a bad zombie problem. So we go around slaughtering zombies and skeletons, bats, wolves, spiders, anything that moved really, just so we could gain these Forsaken's trust. we are asked to give this guy Samuel a funeral, so we do our best to give a proper send-off.
Would you like to say a few words?
Dear... Fuck, what do they say? Other... people...
Dear Samuel.
What's this guy's name?
His name's Samuel, bro. It's in the quest.
Samuel was a good man. He... How did he die?
I don't know.
Samuel was a good man. It's a shame we lost Samuel so early. But today we bury his remains. Goodbye, son. I don't
suck my
have
dick.
Samuel's remains.
Fuck. Shit. We have to go get Samuel's remains. Quick, go. We have to go get him.
Fuck. So we go to acquire Samuel's remains. By force. Now we can give him the proper funeral that he deserves.
Alright.
Try two.
Take 2. Samuel, you were great, man. According to the quest that we had to do to complete this mission, you died to your crazy bitch wife. And if I have any words for that, all I gotta say is he just like me for real.
Amen.
I hereby sentence you to the afterlife. Your soul shall be sent to the arbiter, where you will be properly judged by Zolval, and he will send you to the justified afterlife of eternal damnation. Amen.
After we give Sam the greatest send-off of all time, we are deployed to kill some Nazis in a local camp, and collect armbands and secret plans in Glorious Bastard style. Honestly, this task was a lot easier than expected, especially because when we killed their leader, no one even tried to stop us. When returning the armbands and secret plans, we are informed to go to a local town named Brill and give them to the mayor. So off me and Gabba go, leaving our second starting zone, and off to bigger and better things. On our way to Brill, we meet a nice man who would like for us to steal pumpkins from the local farmers, and we assure him that we would never do that to a poor innocent
Pumpkin!
We continue our journey to Brill, but on the way we meet a big corpse ball named Gordo, and he wants us to get him weed? 3 weed? This big guy only needs 3 weed? That must be why this guy's so dank, bruh.
Smoke weed every day.
So we stop everything we are doing to get this guy his 3 G's and give it to his plug in Brill. We finally arrive at Brill with our bags full of very important items like secret Nazi plans, pumpkins, and weed. First we give Gordo's plug the weed, and this guy wants us to get him more weed. Like, this must be that good shit, dude. We then give the pumpkins to Jojo here, who then tells us he's going to lace it with acid, and wants us to give it to his guest, who's staying in the basement of the local inn. Odd request, but we'll do it, I guess? Oh, and he wants dog blood for some reason. I didn't read the quest, I don't know. We meet the mayor, and he informs us of some local grave robbers that are robbing all of the doom weed, and he wants us to kill them all. Now that we've met everyone in town, we make our way to the inn to feed this guy acid pumpkins. On entry, we are greeted by Coleman Farthing, who told us a harrowing story of a local mill that was owned by a very rich family, and when the plague came, they locked all their farmhands and helpers outside to die. Coleman here was one of those employees, and he wants us to kill the family and bring him their corpses. That's pretty metal. So we venture down the dark, dank basement in the inn, where we find a human and a dwarf. So I offer the human a tasty pumpkin, which he's overjoyed to eat. Then he fucking turns into a zombie. Must have been a bad trip. Oh, and then there's this lady upstairs who wants us to make her a coat because she's cold. Okay, Cool, we'll do that too, I guess. So me and Gabba prepare to leave Brill and handle business. But first, we have to do the thing that everyone does while they're in Brill.
A rat! A rat! A rat! Chicken! Chicken! A rat!
Chicken and rat.
A rat! Chicken! A rat! Chicken!
Chicken and rat.
I got a chicken. So the closest thing we can do to Brill is picking weed for the plug and dealing with these grave robbers. And let me tell you, the grave robbers were not too happy that we were picking their weed. Oh my god, I missed and dodged. For both, how? And he parried it behind him!
Yo, this knoll is different, dude.
So after we pick up all the weed and kill as many gnolls as the guy wanted us to, we make our way back to Brill. On the way back, we kill a bunch of dogs for their blood and bats so the lady can make a nice coat out of them. But when we gave her the pelts from the bats to make a coat, she gave us a cloak as a reward. Couldn't you have just worn the cloak, lady? Whatever, she's dead for a reason. Now the only thing left to do is to inform the mayor that we cleared out the grave robbers and we can make our way to the mills. But the mayor had other plans. He would like for me and Gabba to make our way to the Undercity and meet a friend of his. Upon arrival at the Undercity, we learn our professions and make our way to the mayor's friend. When we find Bethor Ishard, Benthor tells us of a lich that lived on an island in the middle of the lake, and he would like for us to retrieve this lich's book. We very quickly reach the lake and there's no lich, but there is this man in a funny hat named Gunther. Gunther didn't look like the kind of guy who liked to talk, so we just took the books and left Gunther, and he really didn't do anything. Didn't really care that we just yoinked his books. After robbing Gunther's belongings, we decided to go to the mills instead of going back to the Undercity. While heading there, we pick every flower and mine every ore we find. After around 20 minutes or so, we finally make it north enough to the mills. So we must kill the Agamon family and bring their remains as well as their employees' remains back to Coleman. First, we find Devlin and dispatch him super quickly. We then move towards a small house on the mill's grounds and find the ghost of Nisa Agamon and put her out of her misery. I'm not sure how we will bring a ghost's remains back, but whatever, that's for Coleman to decide. Moving more towards the windmills, we find Devlin and cut him down as well. While doing all of this, we have been picking up ribs and skulls and body parts and remains. Our little backpacks are just stuffed with corpses right now. That only leaves Gregor. And luckily, he was near Devlin when we killed him, so we just stuffed him in the bag hole. After collecting all the remains we needed, and the skulls and the ribs, we hearth back to Brill to tell Coleman that we finally killed the Agamon family that he so much detested. When we make it back to Brill, we bring Coleman all the remains of the Agamon family, and he was absolutely delighted. So delighted that he will be keeping Devlin's corpse as decor. This place is pretty metal. We catch wind that the mayor would like for us to return to the mills, but we are tired and in need of rest. So we make our way to the Undercity to give Gunther's book to Ishard. And when we told him about Gunther, he laughed and said that was a friend of his, and he would like for us to return the book. In that moment, rage filled me, because going to the island was just a random, annoying speed bump, and now you want us to go out there again. I just decided to log out, and while I'm away, Gabba will get his Voidwalker, and we will rest in order to tackle the rest of the raging undead at the mills tomorrow and the Worgen of Silverpine. Thus closes day 1 of the race to Wrath.